North Korea is a nation state. It absolutely is a nation state, like it or not. It has borders, it has a flag, it has an anthem, it has a military, it has nuclear weapons, it has a seat at the United Nations. But I think we misunderstand it fundamentally if we don't see it for what I kind of think it is, which is a religious society. I think a lot of people are aware of the personality cult around the Kims. It's a pretty extraordinary one. It's one that hasn't really abated for now more than 80 years, which when you think about Stalin and the USSR, you think about Mao and communist China, nothing even remotely close to that in terms of the intensity, in terms of the durability of this cult of personality, now in its third generation. And the nukes are important. The nukes insulate North Korea from external threats, but the other threat is internal. And there, I don't know that the Kims have all too much to worry about because they've effectively built what I honestly believe is the most extraordinary cult of personality in human history.
So when you say it's a religious society, you mean embodied in the person of Kim himself, there is worship, actual worship of that man, that when they're all standing and they're applauding for minutes and sometimes hours on end, would you say that's authentic?
I do think for the most part it is authentic. When you've been told one thing and only one thing for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years, I think you might start to believe it. I think I might start to believe it. I think many are true believers. When you see the footage of them weeping, when you see the footage of them overwhelmed with emotion in the presence of Kim Jong Un or his father or his grandfather, we see that with pop stars, you see that with rock stars, you see that with celebrities. Some people, they're in your presence and they're gonna get sweaty palms, they're gonna have, the heart's gonna beat a little bit faster. That's something that's very real, even in our very secular society here. When you live and every room has the portrait of Kim Il-sung on the wall, every badge pin lapel over your heart is Kim Il-sung. Every time you pass the statue, you're bowing before a statue. You open the newspaper, that's him on the front. You turn on the TV, that's him there. You're singing, literally singing his praises. You're memorizing his scripture. This is a different thing.
Now, the censorship regime is incredibly strict. They've also completely censored the Iran war, the assassination of the supreme leader. I could see how that would be a message of strength, that no one can touch us because we've got nukes. Look what happens if you don't. They don't want to go there. Any sense of why they would just do literally zero?
Well, I think exactly what you said is probably the answer right there. They don't want the North Koreans to know about a decapitation strike on their dear leader. That's the last thing that they want to be talking about, right? I think they're doing this with Russia, Ukraine as well. They're doing this with a lot of hotspots around the world. I think they want to see where things go. They're the ultimate controllers of the message, certainly within North Korea. So I think they want to see where things settle. And certainly, if things continue to go in a bad direction for the US, perhaps we will start to see more from the North Koreans about this. If Iran looks like they are going to emerge here, perhaps that will be a message that they'll want to share in their own way, in their own time.
Once they had that meeting, those meetings with Donald Trump, and obviously feted all the time, my good friend, pen pal, they sent me letters. I mean, he was excited. Historic meeting for Trump. What was that covered in North Korea as a truly historic, like we are now on the global stage?
I think it's a great question. And yes, they did portray Kim Jong Un with Donald Trump, shaking hands, front page of their newspaper, because, look, there's a lot of talk about China and the US being a G2 right now, but you have Kim Jong Un here getting a handshake, 3 handshakes, with the President of the United States. That's something that his father and his grandfather could never have attained. And that's, I think, a testament to what he's managed to. He's been a custodian of what was built for him. He didn't create the nuclear program, but he took the nuclear program arguably to where it is now, the missile program as well. And so you have this state where actually all 3 of the Kims who have been in power, they're really good at the family business. They're very good. And a lot of these dynasties, the wheels start to fall off, whether it's a corporate dynasty or a political dynasty, by the 3rd generation. We don't see that with Kim Jong Un. He took power at less than 30 years of age, but he's proven himself to be no less masterful at this than his father and his grandfather.